actually realize two standards so we weren't breaking the amp. Now what I want you to do is actually rip this as a cab housing area. The reason why it's matters is because you can rip off this tab and this collar, and then you can take your unnecessary items out of our way. Why would it be going to 5 cc? First, it's latex. To get you to do the latex and even though these stoppers are first thing we want to do, now we're at the second area. Now we're going to withdraw to another 5 cc. Not latex, but use the for sake of caution. This is the trash pile. This bag literally takes out. This is the first thing is that pretending this area here is our how many times last year out of the way. Laminar flow air is coming towards me. So in this case, so we don't want to place. There's a couple other suggestions. We're going to take very fine plastic get our 10 cc's out as well. We want to mostly use not as resilient valves. Excuse me. This direction. We're going to take 10 cc's out. So you really don't need to buy. This is actually aware of this. It's not going to close back up. But in the last step is first step. We are not going to use this board. This area by this we care about. This is all compounding area. So you can do it with the 5 board. Take this off. Set up from a first air stand. Where you inject top case. This is the injection of trying to work like that. We are going to not we are going to utilize the 10 cc bullet in a simple made of what looks to me like latex, but it's really up to you what you want to do. So we want to try to right now here in such a way. Recap it. Here we actually have that same membrane here, but we also have this is our HEPA filter. Now, you may have heard, oh my gosh, never recap. And that's actually if I were to do this, I would block on first air. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take off resilience. Don't make this. You'll notice that this has a little razor syringe. That's going to be the second part of the blood housing in there. So in this case, recap the needle is fine. For right now, we don't need to hold like that. This only has a line, but you can see it's not. The next thing we're going to do, and that's caught on, so even be on the safe side. I broke it. I went in front of here like this. That way, if you want, if you have to multiple area, if you really use this, if you take the port saver so we take the basically raw these stops. This is very close to this. Wipe it off. So area at this point, so we can work on. So you can stick the injection out and push forward. You remember back. There's only one exception to this injection port since it is a needle in it. You're going to use the school method and now will evaporate or using something like this port saver is so large. So not, if you're going to make something themselves like those sticks, definitely probably about disinfectant action. So in this case, we were going to do this. So I'm going to do that over here. Really quite honestly. Now, open up a syringe. 3 sticks. But in this case, because we are talking about drugs, sterile full handles here, no blood products. Now, when we open up the syringe, so make sure that we open it up very carefully, very. So the other thing too is you don't want to rip it open. So I do this. With that being said, you can take a needle. This is the spike again. That means you don't open it up just enough. This is the injection port. This is discontinued chemotherapy. Just like a rubber stopper, just shy. You are going to have to touch that area, take it out much. The rest is going to make sure that off. But since it does not, once it's re-swap, so you don't want to work like this. That's how we find something. Disconnect the needle. The important thing is we can do this is called sterilely storing this way. So as far as the syringe is concerned, just right here. We send and as you can see, it's not also the name first there. So I have a bubble right there. If we can reduce, we had a much larger situation container. This isn't being right. We're helping our guests to do this. That's fine. This time right here. This is where we want to actually really this way. Where this was like this. I find it we're actually since it's right-handed. Because this syringe is actually a little higher this way because this area is lucky. Alright, now we're going to take the ampule. We're going to open up the needle the same way we're going to do. Just like this. So it's called this is liquid. Now, you could if we wanted to, especially on the hot CC, if you pop through, there's a lot of liquid in that neck. Alright, get that out of here. The last piece is, of course, all the parts this is if I send the bag up, not push too hard. So that is going to always peel that actually go through. You attach it. This is still some, so if you're this could actually do for some points like this, you have to filter it with this. You could actually have the easiest way, the best way. We can like generally store this by standing this up like this, or we could lay this down like this. Turn it upside down. We'll talk about hoods. I will explain that. Down here goes something like this. Big C. I can't do a big C. Stick it over the wheel. Fold it off. Some do not. Because they have a line here and down. It actually creates eddies. I'll do one more time. If you try to go in like this, we don't want to try to do this. How do you know like this as opposed to very? And your employer, whoever you're working for, should be able to tell you because they don't want to do that. They should just hold this, say that I want to see this both things for this chair. There we go. But this is what I had. However, same thing though. The best way to do it is this way. If you know that this is bevel, just to show you can use it in, then you go smokestack here. Because this is way off the ground. It should be very easy. Just slide in very easily. Be able to do this. If you start, we have our syringe bar in, and you start getting now that we have this vacuum state, we're going to again and you still will probably have over needle cap and some little. Now, this is the bevel. So the bevel. I've done that a couple of times myself. In this case, 60 degrees. Now, just make sure again, like I say, what's happening here. This is still you take off the syringes. This is the needles. When we enter in the syringe, we're going to enter in the 45-degree angle. We're only going to throw these bevel to the top of throwing this in the sharp containers. Straight 45-degree angle like this. So all the way down to the ampule. First thing you want to do is all the way short of the syringe to the back of the ampule. So you go 45 swab, everything else, and then finish parallel. This all can go in the regular trash. This way it doesn't core. If you slide it down, we can't get up at this point. Is that level? Just a little bit of resistance because as you straight down, it takes the flash on here. Use them by series. All your needle go in your arrows. All of your trash stuff. This needle is already ratio. You have to save this, and then you start to do this without false swabs. But I can tell you that what it does every once in a while. So with that being said, this take this file here. It's important what I said. This is probably not right here. This is the first area. Other than right here, but it's a very small. So to prevent that from going in every bubble angle, we want to go into a 45-degree angle, and we hold the vial on the thumb down. Okay, we want to make sure that we hold the vial up, head up and down. Break the middle of the bevel. It's kind of hard for me to show you this. Run our thumb right. Okay, now in order to hold this, you take your two fingers to make sure our catch the neck. So you're going to see me do this here. The bottom of the vial. This is no good. I got good like this. Good end. If I were to be lifting in the hood here,
I'd actually be going like this, and my eyes are at this
hand
level
here, you put your thumb with one finger on the flange here,
not big enough. I need to do
this finger here, and the other two fingers here.
So that I'm not doing
That's all we're trying to do. I will hold on.
In this case, where the vial is big enough,
this is our
I can have my hands on the
push
neck,
back,
and I'm not
pull
blocking
back,
first
and
air.
I push up with my finger, you'll form. And
this neck is not
here's
big.
the one finger, here's the other finger.
Big enough.
You can see there's a whole bunch of bubbles in there. What I want to do is this is something that you're going to have to learn.
Put my hands up a little bit higher.
So these two fingers here. Take your pincer fingers. The other thing that we want to do is that when we break this, we want to make sure that we break it
looking at
in
this
there.
foot.
You can go,
Now, like I
don't
said,
want to break
for
it.
purposes of
This demonstration, I'm going to like this with our knuckle and manipulate. Now the important thing is that if there's any bubbles on this side, you want to turn the barrel around. So the other thing we don't want to do when we do this is we don't want to grasp it like this. I see some people go like this, be very quick, this, and very precise. I see some people go like this, tapping. We don't want to do that. We don't shoot off. If you're going like this, that's never going to work. There's got to be one good tap that we have two pincers, fingers. So the other thing people will do is this is a very stable level. Thumb and finger this way. Consolidate. Hold on to this size all the time. Actually crush this neck vials, and then you don't want to do that either. They get the bubble. If they want to space your fingers, they try to get the bubbles out. Slides. They're not holding this vial. We measure very stable, and then they start bottom of the tip of the blast. Next thing you know, this.
You're not going to break it like
into
this.
not measuring at the top of the cone.
What will happen is all
Measuring at the bottom of the tip, the bottom of the first round.
Not a good situation.
And that goes.
So obviously we're going to break it
So
like
we
this.
want to make sure we have a good,
actually want
stable
background here, right?
So each
Now,
one of these,
once we get
that,
we
now
pull
I
back
to
to
where we want to go.
0.2,
0.4, 0.6, 0.83.
alcohol swab
So
here.
2.25.
And the reason I put the
So we
alcohol
want
swab
about
there
there.
is
Point
to protect my finger even
2.5.
further,
And then
just in case if it
grazes
over,
we will go.
Now, we do have some
two,
bubbles in there.
two.
What we got is
Back.
actually
Remember, I
when
said
we
break
break
this.
this,
If
you're
you
not
go
going to
half the
break it
distance,
like
that's
this.
and then
0.5.
you start.
Actually break it like this,
Right?
as I said before.
Trying to knock
Now,
those bubbles
when
out.
we break this,
So,
we are going to
0.01. And so we
get
want
that
0.05, so you would go about a quarter of the distance.
like this.
Once all the bubbles are done, we'll pull back
steady.
in.
This doesn't really move, but you pull back
and
up.
so we would go
Expel
to
all the air
2.2,
out back, and we're
and
now
just a little bit beyond that,
back,
gets you 2.25.
as I said before,
Forward,
we're to put,
we would
that's
draw
not a
the
good
needle.
thing.
Your
Because
a lot of times people will
bring
bring this
back,
up.
go forward,
We would
and
draw
then
the
run
needle,
your finger or
then
thumb
we
across
can
the
pull
edge,
back,
45 degree angle,
and there's a bubble still there. Right? So we can get that bubble off by turning it to the opposite side,
right? Pull
tapping
back
it,
pull back like this all the way,
and
or
then
pull back and go up.
Now
So
we're pull back on the syringe just a little bit because
where that
once we
aseptic
go
liquid
like
right
this,
now,
water
fairly
or
simple,
whatever
use it
fluid
in the
jumps back into the hub.
And
If I just push this like this,
we're going to go on to
you
step
can see
5 now.
the liquid's
It's
coming
that
right out of the
simple.
needle. So
Okay.
whenever we do anything
once
like
we
this, hold this, manipulate it.
so a
we
lot of
wanna
what
pull
happens
back,
is that
pull
people are
extra
going to break
volume
this,
that's been
and they
shoved up
hear
into
the
the
snap,
hub,
and then they let
so
go.
that we can easily expel
You
the
don't
air,
want to let
but
go,
not
because
expel
what happens
the
is you let
fluid.
go of this, then you
Alright.
get liquid all over the place. This could break.
So we slowly
now we have to clean
bring
it up. So
the fluid
as
up
you're
into
breaking
the
this,
hub,
in addition
up into the needle,
you're going to
we
hold
want to
on
do it
to
right.
as well. We're just not going to let it go.
Right until we get a
let it
bubble
fall
right
over
there,
the place.
a droplet right
So,
there. Then we pull back just a
So
little
once
bit.
we have that all
it
taken
goes
care of,
back
this
into
is
the
the
needle.
sharp. So this goes in the sharp container
Alright,
as
so
well.
that's the first two steps.
Now,
of
I
this.
may have mentioned this in class. I can't remember if I have or not. But now that we have this,
as I was
this
just
open,
reading the directions,
we
could have
we're
glass
gonna,
particles,
put this in there
other
first.
particles in there.
Alright,
So
same
we're
way.
gonna use a filter
So
needle
we're going to
to
reconstitute
make sure
this
that
vial.
none of those
So we go into the
glass
45 degree
particles or
angle.
other particles
So
will
the
get into this bag
hub
of the bevel.
So there's two ways that we can do this.
And then go straight down.
And once we open the syringe
here,
up,
we're just going to inject the water.
now we're going to pull back some air.
The
out
other
of
thing
here,
with the
so we have a
syringes,
negative
as a
pressure
little
in here.
aside,
We have a negative
is
pressure.
they're about
If you listen really
0.1.
closely, you can hear that
They're
pulled back to about 0.1.
kind of sucking sound.
And they've
from
been
the
sitting
vial.
around for a little
That means
bit.
we definitely
So
have a
the first thing
negative,
you want to do is when you
pressure
take it
in
out of the
there.
package, you
And
want to be
then
able to
all
push
the fluid will
forward.
stay into
right?
the vial.
And you may
And
or may
if you
not
have
have
real
heard that
high
positive
little,
pressure,
like that,
all the fluid as soon as you take the needle
sticking
out,
sound.
it's going to try to spew
But
out.
when
And
you push
don't want
forward,
that.
it kind of
Right? And
gets
if you
it
really look
unstuck
close at this
first.
video,
So when I pulled
that
the
you're
needle
not
out of here,
trying to pull
because
up
I was
and pull
manipulating
against
it so
that,
much, and I was
that
putting air back
stickiness,
into the system
right away.
when I
You've
pulled
already
it back
broken
out,
kind of that
if you caught
stickiness
that,
or seal.
that was
And now the
overpressurization
syringe
and a stream of
now
water
the barrel
came out,
not
or
the
in this
barrel,
case,
the
sodium
plunger
chloride
now
came
moves
out
on the deck.
very
So you don't
easily
want that
in the
but,
barrel itself.
for
You don't
purposes
have
of
that
demonstration,
initial
tugging
while you're trying to pull drug
pressurize
out.
this vial.
So,
two things
you're
that we
gonna
can
pull
do.
back, negatively pressurize
And
that
you're
one.
gonna
Forgive me for
Now,
this is where I was talking about
for kind of
aseptically
blocking
storing.
first air in this.
So we're going
this
to put the
demonstration.
syringe and the
I'll try to
needle
be
like
as best
this.
as I can,
Okay, we don't want to recap it.
Kind of forget where
We
my
don't
hand
have
is.
to
I'm
because it's going to be in
talking,
first air.
Okay.
So one thing that we can do
Here
is
we're
going
gonna
to
shake
shake
it
it
on
on first. Okay, until it gets all in the
needle on
solution
first,
and we withdraw. That's the easiest way, and it's
As you
okay
can
if it
see,
doesn't get all in the solution.
in the
This
lecture
isn't a
notes
protein,
or
so
in
you
the,
can shake it
PowerPoint
really hard.
presentation,
It's not going to be.
we are at a
an issue.
40,
This is
almost
just,
at like a
sodium
45
chloride,
degree
just
angle
salt
here.
in there.
The bevel
Um,
of the needle.
So try to get it in solution
Right,
as
the
much
bevel
as
of the needle
possible.
is right there.
It's not going to go
Okay,
and
completely into
that is
solution.
down,
As you can see,
like
it's kind of
this,
cloudy. It's
in the
kind of
shoulder
saturated
of
solution at this point in
the,
time.
and that's it.
So we're
Now,
going to go to the next
in the
couple
ampule,
steps.
I can turn it
Alright.
upside down. Nothing's going to come out of that ampule. Right? There's a surface tension there. Now, if some people, I've seen this, and some of your students in previous years have tried to go think this is a vial, and they'll turn this upside down and they'll stick the needle in here. As soon as I do that, now the water or the liquid or anything in there now has a channel to come out of the ampule. And what's going to happen, as soon as you do that and break that surface tension along here, all the liquid's going to come out on your deck, in your hood. Okay, so you don't want to do this. That's a big no-no. The other thing is that you can maybe see it a little bit here. It's not exactly even. Sometimes you'll have like little shards of glass that's stuck on here. If you turn it upside down and allow the liquid to go down that shard, you're not going to get the surface tension. Okay, see that little droplet right there? If there was a shard there, if I put my needle there, the liquid's just going to come pouring out. Okay? So, if there is a little shard there, we want to turn it away from the shard and go like this. Okay, so we have the least amount of, or the most amount of surface area and the least amount of obtrusions in here to allow the liquid to have a channel to come out. So we are going to put it at a 45-degree angle, right? We're going to stick the needle in first, though, put it at a 45-degree angle, and we're going to pull back at the same time. See, as we tilt it more, we're pulling back. I'm pulling back as we tilt it more. And you can see I'm pulling out the liquid, and it's getting more and more until we get down to the bottom. Alright? So, let me put that liquid back in there, and I'll show you that one more time. Okay. Alright, so we turn it over like this, put it at a 45-degree angle, make sure that the bevel is down in the neck of the syringe, or in the shoulder, I mean, shoulder of the ampule. This is the shoulder right here. So that's where we want to put the syringe. We don't want to put the syringe or the needle right here, kind of like at the beginning right here. We don't want to put it there. We want to make sure it goes all the way in. So we want it in there like that. Tilt it, pull back. Now, we don't want to pull back really fast. In this case, we really don't, because we're going to create all these small little bubbles, champagne kind of bubbles, and it's going to be really hard to get the right amount. So we pull back a little bit. As you can see, some of it fell. Again, I'm kind of at a weird angle, and what happened there is I pulled back a little bit too fast, and one of the bubbles escaped, and as soon as that had a channel, that liquid had a channel to come out, it came out. Okay, so we don't want that to happen. Now, once we have this is a sharp, so once we have this all taken care of, we can leave it here or put it